I'm pushing up.
Rotate.
No, they're rotating back. They're rotating back. They're
gonna go. Just rotate, guys. Just rotate. Give it up. Just give it up. Nice. Rotate.
Greetings and welcome to episode number 32 of The Rotation with Z-Hack. Where are the sponsors at? I need you guys eventually, whether it be Scuff, Turtle Beach, a coffee company, for goodness sake. Everybody knows we love our vanilla lattes, our ristretto shots of espresso blonde, make it blonde espresso, on The Rotation with Z-Hack. Maybe even Murph can get a little help over here. What do you think, Murph? Taking your sunbath by the window, a little Chewy sponsorship, unlimited peanut butter, bacon, biscuits? Yeah, that'll get you going. That would be exciting to get Chewy to sponsor the podcast for Murph. Nonetheless, as always, I thank you guys for being here and tuning in. We have a lot to break down today when it comes to the Call of Duty League and Call of Duty in general. The news space has been wild this week. It's been nutty, and we're just going to get straight into it. As always, ZHack16 on social media. Share the podcast with friends, family, and Call of Duty lovers alike, but we have a lot to talk about. First Blood, the news has broken, and this is kind of scary, disheartening, and sending everybody in a frenzy. Breaking news, there will not be a new Call of Duty title in 2023. What are we going to do? The panic has set in. Everybody is losing their mind. For the first time in close to over 20 years, we will not have a new Call of Duty title released. This hits me in a soft spot. I've looked forward to those releases year in and year out since I was a child, sitting outside a GameStop, the anticipation to grab your disc after pre-ordering, drive home as fast as you can, plug it in, get on with all your homies, skip a day of school, and play the new Call of Duty title. So this is alarming to me, and it kind of kills the nostalgic feeling that we know and love of playing a new Call of Duty every single November, October, whenever they decide to release it. Let's break it down, let's talk about it, and try not to get too emotional while we are doing it. So the news broke on an article written as it was found by Bloomberg, I think, is where it's at, that it will be delayed. Jason Schreier, we got to give credit where credit is due as I'm looking at the article right now, says that Activision Blizzard will delay a Call of Duty game that had been planned for next year, the first time the franchise will be without an annual mainline release in nearly 2 decades, according to people familiar with the plan. So further on in this article, it says they got to a point and it just, it wasn't ready. And this one is the one by Treyarch. So we're still set for another Modern Warfare title this year, 2022. But after that, we don't know what's going to happen. So in the article, they say that Activision claims there's going to be a lot of extended content, free-to-play stuff, so they can try and keep it going and entertaining to the player base as long as possible. But what does this mean for us as casual fans, casual players, and especially the Call of Duty League? This is scary for me. Is it going to be the new Modern Warfare forever after 2022 into 2023? Are we going to have a vote from league operations, from all of the teams that are franchised? Because when you break it down to its simplest form, this affects a lot of people. We have franchises putting tens of millions of dollars into their organization to play competitive Call of Duty. We have players relying on a new Call of Duty to have a paycheck, or at least a new Call of Duty League, for them to get their salary and their bonuses and whatever it may be. I know they can all go create content, but obviously the numbers will be skewed when you have Scump streaming versus somebody like a rookie in maybe Gizmo who's out streaming. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to pull 50,000 viewers as Scump does whenever he clicks go live on Twitch. So what does this mean for the income of players? Are we going to have to take a year off, which would send the franchises into a riot, I believe, with all the investments that they have made? And then content creators like myself who circulate their content around the Call of Duty League. Are we going to have a year off? Are we going to play the greatest hits and go back to Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, have jetpacks? What is it going to mean for competitive Call of Duty? I do not know, but with all this being said, it puts us in a very bad spot. I know apart from this, a lot of speculation has come and gone from the fan base and everyone out there on Twitter, all the eggs, the profiles, talking smack about what's going on. But in the article, it says that Microsoft buying Activision has nothing to do with it. There's no causation or correlation between the two events happening, because we know that Microsoft is set, if everything goes through contractually with legal stuff and everything happening as we get deeper into that they're set to take over in summer. I think it's like June of 2023 if everything is good to go. But this is completely separate and apart from it. And I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. What does this mean for the Call of Duty League? I personally think that the simplest thing, and what the league will probably start to do, because you better believe, I know we're only at the stage 1 major in Vanguard right now, but you know the Call of Duty League, the operations, and the franchises are already having discussions of what will happen in the future. I think the simplest solution is hopefully make this game coming out, the newer Modern Warfare, you got to make it last. You have to make it entertaining to the fans, entertaining to the public play, and entertaining to those who like Warzone, because it's probably going to be reintegrated with that. So you have to keep this going for at least 2 years until another game goes out. And you may be thinking and you may be saying there shouldn't be a problem with that, because a lot of esports who are at their height and at their peak, they don't have a new game come out every year. League of Legends, they've just been updating but playing the same game for years and years. CSGO. Valorant is probably going to be one like that. It's not going to come out with new stuff. Rocket League is the same game from year to year. Call of Duty is really the only competitive game where we have a new title every year. And it makes us unique. But with that being said, I do think the easiest solution probably will be to have this new Modern Warfare be sustainable and able to handle competitive for a couple of years. It better be damn good. I'll tell you that right now, because as a Call of Duty community, we're not used to having to do that. That's not something familiar to us. So it puts the league in a pretty bad spot, but I think that we're able to get out of it. That, to me, is the simplest solution, is just play this new Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare coming out in 2022, or rumored to be at least. We're going to have to play that for a couple of years. Get some good maps, get some good gameplay, give the fans what they want, cool skins, cool weapon camos, rewards for viewers, make it integrated with Warzone in a pretty intense way, and then you have yourself something successful. So like I said, that's the easiest way to go about this, in my opinion. Could we have other things happen? Could the league have meetings and decide, you know what, Cold War I think is the most competitive that we've had in a couple of years, we should play that game? Or Modern Warfare? Or we're going back to jetpacks in Black Ops 3. I don't know what's going to happen. Let me know down in the comments below what you think, but that is the breaking news. That is our first blood topic of conversation. No new Call of Duty in 2023. I believe it's the Treyarch year, so we will see what happens. Right now, I think Infinity Ward, I'm correct there, is developing this new Modern Warfare. So it's the Treyarch year where it's a leap year. They say the game is just not going to be ready to go in 2023. The progress isn't there. So what will we have for the CDL in 2023? We need some news from the league, some transparency as this story continues to go on and on. But for now, those are all the details that we have. That's my opinion on what will the situation be for competitive Call of Duty in 2023. We'll just play the same game 2 years in a row, and hopefully we're in a good enough spot to do that. Now we got to break away from there after the first blood take and talk barracks news and notes from around the league. A lot to break down within the CDL, as we've had some things go throughout, qualifiers for the Stage 1 Major, but we're going to talk about Vanguard in specific to begin with. I have to be honest, Vanguard is making strides, and they're moving in the right direction. I know last episode I ripped them for giving us a date of ranked play and telling us it was going to be released, ready to rock and roll, and then it wasn't. Not consistent with what they were releasing and what they were telling us, but they have made up for it, in my opinion. Ranked play is now out. I think it's decent. There's still some small things that are in the work, and maybe we might not be completely thrilled with how it's going, but I gotta say, I'm happy it's here. It's giving us something to grind in the competitive basis. It's a new menu that casual players can click on, say, oh, ranked play. What's that? Let's try it, and then they discover the Call of Duty League. But apart from that, there is a caveat that pisses me off. When I played my placements, this is still something from year to year in ranked play that we cannot solve, and it sucks. I had 3-3v4 games, lost every one of them, of course. And then the fourth game, I had one where I get into the lobby, and this kid is duoing with his friend, and he says, oh yeah, you've never played this. Control, it's just like, domination, but, you get a certain amount of lives. And I'm sitting there on my Atlanta phase, scuffed controller, cracked out on some coffee, G Fuel, whatever I was drinking that day, headset on, ready to calm like it's champs, and I hear that come through my headset, and I just think, oh man, this Tuscan is chalked. I'm playing with a kid who doesn't even know what he's doing. I've already lost 3 matches to a 3v4 on kids leaving. That's it. That's it. And then I get placed way down there, and now I'm in the blender trying to grind out a ranked. So I'm glad it's here. It still sucks that things like that happen and we get penalized for that situation arising. So it's tough. But ranked play is here. It's something to grind, and the ELO-based system is here with skill ranking. I got to tip the cap. I'm wearing a Chicago Blackhawks beanie right now, so I guess I got to tip the beanie to Call of Duty Vanguard for putting out ranked play, for listening to me and putting out a skill rank system where you see your points and yourself climbing, so you have that visual representation of I'm getting better, I'm competing, I'm climbing, and I'm getting there. I like it. I'd like to see some more hardpoint. Oftentimes I'm always getting controls in search and destroy. I think that the easiest way to implement it, I've talked to it time and time again in the past, is just when I long on my specific play, put me in a rotation that is the pro map set. The first map I play when I get on, it's a hard point. Then I get a search and destroy, then I get a control, then I get a hard point, then I get a search and destroy, and then it's like I start a new 5-map series. Hard point, search, control, hard point, search. Hard point, search, control, hard point, search. How hard is it to keep track of that? ZHack16 logged on. Okay, he's going straight into a hard point. That's his first map he's going to play. That's the easiest thing to give us the flexibility and let us rotate through the game modes the way that the pros do. That's what ranked play is here for. It's to make us to feel a competitive playlist. That's the easiest way to give us the variety, yet consistency, so we're not playing 4 controls, 2 search and destroys, and I haven't seen a hard point in 6 maps. It's simple. But I'm happy with where we are in ranked play. Little adjustments like that, I can nitpick, I can be upset about. But for the most part, I'm happy with the skill rank system. I'm happy that ranked play is here. I get to feel like the pro players do. I get to grind a skill rank, say that I'm better than this guy. And it's a competitive setting. People got the mics on. I talk some smack to guys. I shoot some bodies. I'm just like any other human out there. But we love ranked play, and we are happy that it is here. I hope you guys feel the same. The other thing that we have to talk about Vanguard before we get into the CDL, and I think this is kind of a good transition into it, it's that the CDL Team Packs have arrived. I'm not going to lie. They aren't bad, to be honest. I kind of like the aesthetic this time around. They were kind of mundane in Cold War, and it was kind of like, ew, that's gross. I don't really like that. They're not bad. They're kind of swaggy this time around, and the colors pop a little bit more. They're vibrant. I think the gun camo, you could give us a little bit of mixture Instead of, I think we should have variety. Instead of like, if I'm rocking Minnesota Rocker or Toronto Ultra, instead of like purple and black, I should be able to switch like you have the home and away operator skin. My weapon skin should be able to be black and purple or white and purple. Same thing for everything else, for thieves, for phase, subliners. You know, give us that variety. But I kind of like what the operator skin looks like. The gun camos aren't terrible. I think it'd be better if they were reactive. Like, imagine if it was a Boston Breach, and we're going to open that can of worms in a second because I have things to say about that. But imagine if it was a Boston Green reactive gun, like neon green and black, like, you know, translucent and shining and lit up when you got a kill and it was all hype. There's so much better that we can still do, but I'm happy that these things are here. They're not bad. However, we got to be better upon release, okay? So first of all, there's a bug where you buy a Florida Mutineers CDL Team Pack and you get a London Royal Ravens Team Pack and vice versa. That's not good. That's not what people want with their $9.99. If they want a Florida Mutineers Team Pack, they want a Florida Mutineers Team Pack. You know what I mean? Same goes for the Royal Ravens fans. So that's frustrating. And also, the Boston Breach don't have a team pack yet. What's up with that? What if I want to rep it? Shout out to my boys, Capsidal, Methods, TJ, Nero, you know. These guys are nasty. I like what they're doing on the map. And it's kind of disappointing because how hard can it actually be to get a CDL team pack for the Boston Breach in there? There has to be an algorithm where you have all 11 other Call of Duty League franchises in there. You got to be able to just throw a Boston Breach one together, right? I know that you don't want it to be because the black and green, you don't want to just copy paste optics over there because you want it to stand out. You want it to be separate. So I get that. But we could have made it happen. Come on. You can't release CDL team packs without having all 12 franchises included. So I have, obviously, my critiques, the pros and cons of what's happened with the CDL team packs. I like what they look like. I think there should be some more variety. I think the camos should be reactive on the guns because it just looks way cooler. But you got to have a Boston Breach upon release. We're doing better. We're making a step in the right direction, but we're still not perfect. Because these things, in all honesty, should have been released before Kickoff Classic. Before the first match was made, we should have been able to rep these skins in-game. It took us until the Stage 1 Major to get skins. I like what the operator skins look like. They weren't released soon enough. The gun camos should be reactive, translucent, nice and vibrant. And you should have all 12 teams upon release. But we got CDL team packs. We got to take what we can. Beggars can't be choosers, as they say. So we're going to sit there, sit tight, and be okay with it. Also, whichever CDL team wants to send me their pack so I can rep it while I'm running around on ranked play, feel free, okay? Just saying. Let's move on now and actually get into some Call of Duty League action. And I want to start off by saying, when we break down the CDL over the past couple of weeks, we know that we've had the Stage 1 qualifiers and we're headed in to the Stage 1 Major. All I can say as we get into actual CDL talk is what the hell happened last week? So many storylines to unfold. Shotzzy busts out the F8. Teams are winning that just shouldn't be, and I owe an apology to a few teams apparently because performance was there when it hasn't been all season long. Let's start off with the biggest news, the controversy of Optic Texas versus Toronto Ultra. Let's get this straight. Let's get this plain and simple. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter. Toronto Ultra weren't going to win that series against Optic either way. I know Shotzzy went absolutely ballistic and he popped off. until he realized and took it off, and then Toronto put the attachment on, and it's just a whole can of worms. For those of you who don't know, the F8 stabilizer, it's an attachment that has been gentlemen's agreemented upon that the players in the league weren't going to use it because they feel like it gives an unfair advantage to the MP40, makes it stronger than it already is, yada, yada, yada. Shotzzy said he accidentally had it on because the accounts got reset, the class was on, blah, blah, blah. He apologized profusely, said it was a complete accident, and a struggling Optic team who hadn't picked up a lot of wins other than against Paris so far in the Stage 1 qualifiers, put it on and use it to get an advantage. Boom! Everyone explodes, and now we're all throwing jabs, yelling at each other left and right. Toronto's tweeting, whatever, GG's, I guess, and Optic saying, I'm sorry, but we won. In my personal opinion, Optic win that series regardless. Also, Toronto gets smoked by LA Thieves later in the week, so maybe they're not playing their best Call of Duty right now. But to have the most competitive integrity, we don't want that to happen. So it sucks. It plain and simple sucks because now Shotzzy is going to be like blacklisted and, you know, everyone's going to have that meme about him for the rest of time saying, oh, do whatever it takes, throw on the F8, when in reality, he's one of the best players in the league. He fries. He knows the game. His movement is unmatched. So it sucks that that stigma is going to be put around Optic now. They're going to be the villains. Toronto's pissed off. There's going to be storylines when they play against each other. But Optic are starting to find their stride, and it looks like Toronto are getting a little bit weaker. So that situation, it's just terrible that it happened in general because now the entire league is at the mercy of that situation. Hopefully GAs don't get broken again. But it happened. It sucks. We have to move forward and move on. That's the biggest storyline that broke out throughout the week. I don't know what your guys' opinion is of the entire situation. Go ahead and let me know in the comments down below on Twitter at zhack16. What do you think about Optic having the F8 out? Regardless, those boys in the green wall, they performed. They've stepped up, and they are climbing the rankings, the power rankings, if you will, headed into the major. So we break it down previously. I think LA Thieves are a team to be reckoned with. I love that roster when it was put together, but now they're performing. Draza, Kenny, Envoy, and Octane. Those are some names that are performing. It's good to see Octane finally winning, but, I mean, they look good. They take down Toronto this past week, and that's something that it was going to be a tight series, in my opinion, and then it happened. So let's move forward and talk about some other things here. I think probably the biggest thing is, one, what happened to the Seattle Surge? Two, where the hell did Florida come from? Because Florida sucked. They looked awful. And I said it. And I apologize because they came out. They 3-0 Seattle in a statement victory. And it's a head scratcher. It's like, huh. That's kind of nutty. Where did Florida come from? They've been terrible and Surge have been dominating. If anything, I thought that series was going to be a 3-0 in favor of Surge. And then I guess the London Royal Ravens are for real. They put a 3-1 up on the Seattle Surge as well. Then it makes us rethink everything. It's like, oh, wow. Are Seattle falling apart? Are they crumbling? Are the Royal Ravens a force to be reckoned with? It's just mind blown. So these teams are now competing and coming out of nowhere. Gizmo has been absolutely crazy. Rookie of the Year candidate, 1.2 KD. We know Afro was nuts in Cold War last year. Like, that was a kid that we knew was here to stay. Like, London Royal Ravens built their team around Afro, and they made a good decision to do so. They get young talent like Gizmo. Bada bing, bada boom. The Royal Ravens are here to fry and here to stay. So as we move on and move forward into the major, that's a dark horse team, man. That's a sleeper of a roster. Then the Boston Breach, they had two tough matchups. They kind of fall apart this week. They lose a tight 1-3-2 to the Subliners. I still think they play really, really well, and I like Boston Breach. It'll depend the matchups that they get in the Stage 1 major to see if they can make a run, make something happen. And then we look at a couple of the purple teams. The Gorillas and Minnesota Rocker, they've been in a tough spot, and those teams are going to be clawing. They got to fight if they want to make a statement in the major. We saw them have a matchup on the second day last week, and I said it was going to go 3-2, and it went 3-2. Rocker win the search and destroy. The Gorillas just have such a talented roster, in my opinion, and I think that they're going to make a statement for themselves eventually. I just don't know when it's going to happen. Like, we know what the Rocker are, and they have to start winning, but the Gorillas, man, it's just tough. Like, you have Hook, you have Slasher, you have Asim or Asum, whatever you want to call the kid, and then Gunless. Like, that's a roster that's really good. They just got to put it together. And Minnesota, we've seen them win time and time again. I think that they have the opportunity to do so. I think they have the talent to do so. Standy, he's been a rookie last year who we thought, okay, that kid is probably going to, he's going to grow up and be something special. It really comes down to Priesta and Major Maniac. They need to step up and get to a point where they haven't really gotten to this season, because those are a couple of guys that they need to rely on. Attach and Standy, they've been doing what they have to do. So I think it really comes down to Major Maniac and Priesta in that flex role if Minnesota want to have a chance when we head into the major. The last thing that I'm going to talk about here before we get into our predictions for the major is what's going on over with Paris. Everyone's kind of speculating that they're going to make a roster change. It's going to be Desi and Fellow go bye-bye, and the rumor is Gravity and Jimbo. Okay? And some people are saying, what the hell? Like, Desi and Fellow, those guys are good. Like, I don't necessarily think they're the problem. In all reality, like, Temp is the only guy there on Paris that's really doing good. Like, John hasn't been playing great, but, he's a veteran in the league. He's one of those big names that a lot of guys would be happy to have on the team, but it's just not working well for Paris right now. And oftentimes people say, oh, it's way too quick to make a roster change. Why would you do that? Let it be, see how it unfolds. We've seen how it unfolds through these qualifiers. Plain and simple, this is a fast-moving league. Like, things change really, really quickly, and the performance here from Paris has been underwhelming. They've been awful. They need to do something to become successful. And getting a couple of these studs from the challenger scene in Gravity and Jimbo, it's what you gotta do. It's following the mold that the Seattle Surge have implemented. You see what's happened with them. Seattle were awful for the first couple years of Call of Duty League. They were terrible in Modern Warfare when they had big names, and they sucked in Cold War when they had big names. At this point, Seattle was just chucking stuff at the wall, hoping that it stuck, and they've now had it happen with Sib and Pred. If you can't get the top-tier talent, the best of the best on your team, then the next biggest move to, one, save money, and two, have an opportunity is go get those young guns and the most talented people from the challenger scene. You have to do it and give it a shot. Because Seattle Surge have started winning. They've grown their fan base, their organization. Everything has excelled since they got those two guys. Even though this past week they had a couple tough matches. They lost both of them. But I think it's what Paris needs to do. Because they're probably not going to make a trade. They're probably not going to acquire somebody who hasn't been in the league for a while. So what's the next best thing? It's to go down into the challenger scene. I think a name out there, even though, it's kind of ARs that are being replaced here because Temp and John both run subs. I think Colt Havoc is going to get a shot. They have been dominating. His squad has been dominating the challenger scene. He's going to have an opportunity, whether it be next stage or here in the near future, in the Call of Duty League, he's going to come back again. Like, this is his year. I've been watching his gameplay. He's dominating in the challenger scene. His gameplay looks elite. He has the IQ. He's been on the main stage before. No moment is too big for Havoc. Somebody give him a contract. We talk about a roster change for Paris. He obviously wouldn't fit in there if they're keeping Temp and John. But when somebody needs a sub, you bet your bottom dollar. You bet damn well that Havoc should be the first one there. because he is incredible. He's playing great in Vanguard, and I want to see him succeed and excel. That kind of came full circle there. I think Paris needs to make a roster change. I think it needs to be some young, talented players from the challenger scene, and then when an SMG comes up on the market, or a team needs one, rather, it better be Havoc. Okay? Plain and simple, done and dusted. Now let's talk about our first major of the year. Woo! Got to get some espresso in the veins to talk about that because I'm excited. The Stage 1 Major, hosted by Optic at the Esports Arlington Stadium. I wish I could go there. I wish I could get work off and go watch some Call of Duty in person, create some content, try and get some interviews, see what could happen. But nonetheless, I'll be watching from home like the rest of us. It's going to be sick. For those of you who are there, if you got a VIP pass, if you're going to that event and you didn't get a VIP pass and you just got general admission, I don't know what you're doing. Because you get a swag bag, you get front row seating, you get a VIP bar if you're old enough to drink. Like, what better way to enjoy the Stage 1 Major than that? It's got to be sick. Hex and Hastro are going to put on a show. It's going to be incredible. I hope you guys all enjoy yourselves. Be safe, okay? We know what's going on around the world. Be safe, be smart, make good choices, but get lit for Z-Hack, okay, while you're there. Have some adult beverages, enjoy some good Call of Duty, and hit me up while you're there. Send me videos, send me pictures with players, whatever it may be when you go there, and enjoy it. But now it's time to talk about what we're actually going to see when it comes to the Stage 1 Major. We got to get some predictions out there. We got to talk Call of Duty, so let's bring it up. Let's get it on the screen, and let's get back here. Guys, I got joked last week again. I only got 10 points in my pick'ems because everyone costed me. I knew these two. And then the F8 screwed me. No, I'm just kidding. But Optic beat Ultra, didn't see it coming. Florida smoke surge. I had Breach 3-2 over Subliners. It was 3-2 the other way. I had this one with the Rocker 3-2, that one perfect. And then Thieves, they surprised me, man. I had it 3-2. Ultra, that doesn't happen. London Royal Ravens show that they're here to stay. Optic, they beat Breach. And then I get joked here. Look at this one. Look at this one. I think my camera might be in the way, but look. I had FaZe 3-1 over Subliners. That match was 3-1 FaZe over Subliners. They gave me 0 points. I picked it. What is that? I'm tilted. Anyhow, let's get into the Major 1 bracket, and we will start winners round 1. What a tough draw. The Boston Breach, a new fresh organization. You make it to the winner's side of the bracket, and you have to go against the juggernaut of the Atlanta FaZe. MC, Arcides, Simp and Abeezy. Come on, that sucks. It's like, at that point, I know you're going to try your best and be like, yo, maybe a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while and we take down the Atlanta FaZe here. But it's like they're a juggernaut. You got to be expecting, like, okay, we'll fight here, we'll get warmed up, and we'll see if we can make some magic. But yeah, we're probably going to end up in the bottom bracket after we play FaZe. Like, that sucks. What a terrible draw. And yeah, it's going to be tough. I give Boston Breach a map, but FaZe are going to be coming out hot and heavy. 3-1 Atlanta FaZe take down Zinni and the boys in this situation. Next up, you got to play trends. Listen, I've made a lot of money on FanDuel since gambling and sports betting has become legal in Arizona. You want to know my major key? Number one, I'll give you a couple major keys. Number one, you can't play fandom. Right here, when the Chicago Blackhawks are playing, I can't be like, oh yeah, they're going to beat the Avalanche tonight at home. No! The Avalanche are going to beat them like 6-2, okay? You have to throw all your fandom out of the window when it comes to pick'em and gambling, whatever you're doing. That's the first thing. Number two, you got to follow the trends, okay? And in this specific matchup, Optic have been figuring it out. They've gotten hot. Seattle Surge have lost 2 straight. You know what that means? That means Optic are going to win 3-1. I guarantee it, okay? Mark my words. Seattle were hot at the beginning. I think they even took down Optic throughout this stage. Let's look at the schedule. We got to remember correctly. I'm pretty sure that they played Optic and beat them. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm wrong. Yeah, they haven't met yet. They have not met yet. So this will be the first meeting between these two in the regular season. But I mean, Optic, they just have the hot hand right now. And like I said, Seattle have lost 2 straight. This is why you guys got to hold me accountable, okay? I know there's been a lot of matches played. It gets confusing. I don't remember who's played against who. Regardless, 3-1, Optic, Texas, take that. Those are your first 2 winners matchups. Other winners matchups here, London Royal Ravens versus LAG. This is crazy. Like, Royal Ravens have been good. I think this matchup is going to be one for the ages. And, like, oh, it's so tough for me because I've been favoriting LAG all season long, but Royal Ravens, they've been impressing. I think this one goes the distance. It's going to come down to a search and destroy. I think the rookie Gizmo and Afro, you come over to breakingpoint.gg. Like, look at these guys. A 1.2 overall for Gizmo. Then you hop in to SND. He's got a 1.14. Uh-oh. I just got bumped into the regular statistics. Oh, no, not again. But you look at SND Gizmo. 1.14, one of the best. Like these guys, the London Royal Ravens, if we break it down and we just look at their team, these statistics, like, they are performing. A 1.27 out of Nasty, a 1.14 out of Gizmo, a 1.16 out of Afro, and a 1.06. Everybody, I know kills aren't anything, but when we talk about first blood percentages, 18, 12, and 14 and a half, like, that matters in Search and Destroy, and London are just playing extremely well in that facet of things. And then you come over to LAG, their SND, it's not bad. Like, a Sim, he's up there. Gunless is playing well, but then you get down Slasher and Hook, you know, they're performing, but it's going to be tight. I think it's going to go the distance. I think it goes all 5 maps, and I stick with the London Royal Ravens. Next, we have a rematch of this past week, LA Thieves and Toronto Ultra. Like I said before, follow the trends. Ultra might rebound a little bit and play it tighter. I have both these being a 3-2. I think LA Thieves win it. I like their team a lot. I think that they have the opportunity, the LA Thieves, listen to me now, to be a dark horse, make a run in this tournament. You drop down here to elimination round 1. I like Boston Breach so much, man. I know Florida have been playing good, but I think it's 3-1 in favor of the Boston Breach. Paris, they don't stand a chance. Like, I don't know if they're going to make a roster change or what's going to happen. Maybe they pick up a map here, but it's just, that's the end of it for them. It's 3-1 Seattle all day, 3-1 Breach over the Mutineers. Not much more to say to that. Another rookie to talk about, like Capsidal, I love the way he plays. He's so selfless, and he's just such a good ancillary piece of this team. I like the Breach, man. They're sick. I just like the branding. I like the players, the personalities. I like that team. Rocker and LAG, a battle of the purples again. What are we going to do? I like the Rocker, man. I think accuracy is too icy. Minnesota have shown up time and time again in Search and Destroys when it's come to clutch situations. I don't think it gets to 5 maps this round. I think Minnesota win it 3-1. And then I think Toronto take down New York. New York have been playing better, and Toronto has been, you know, kind of faltering and falling back a little bit. But I think it's 3-2 in favor of Toronto over the Subliners. We get over here. What do we want to go next? Winners? No, let's stay in the elimination bracket. So Seattle Surge, Boston Breach. This is going to be a heavyweight bout between these two. I think it goes all 5. I think Boston clutch up. I just think, man, that's so tough because Sib and Pred are so good at S&D. Like, if it gets to a map 5, I don't know. I just think Seattle have taken a step back a little bit, and Boston have been improving and playing well, and they're going to get that kind of experience, and they're going to have that urgency. Like, they're going to fall to Atlanta, and it's going to be like, okay, we got to go. We got to make a run. And I think they sort of do that there. In this situation, I think Toronto beat Minnesota. I think this probably comes to be a 3-1, 3-2, but the respawns have just been better for Toronto. And like I've said, Major Maniac and Priesta, they got to show up now more than ever. I'd love to see it happen, but they just haven't so far. So now we're set up here in the winner's bracket. Try and slide it across here so we can keep everything on camera. It's going to be a good battle between FaZe and Optic. I think it goes the distance, but I think, you know, Atlanta FaZe, they're too good. They take down Optic. They quite possibly could meet again. But 3-2 FaZe, I think they get it done. Royal Ravens and Thieves, who would have thought that that happens? What could it have been? Could have been LAG, yeah. Man, Royal Ravens and Thieves, I think that this one is Thieves all the way. 3 maps to 1. It's going to be... they're just too good. Like Envoy, Octane, Kenny, and Draza. That's just music to my ears. Those guys are too good. I think they're going to have a pretty easy run. Like when you look... well, not an easy run, I guess, because Toronto, it's just going to depend on who shows up. Like, do they make the adjustments or do they falter, you know? I think LA Thieves are the better team, and that's going to put them in that situation up in the winner's bracket. Come down to the elimination round 3. Oh, what a storyline as we look forward, baby! Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, man, we'll get there in a second. London and Boston. 2 teams that have been playing great. Like when you come over here, Call of Duty League, you take a peek at the standings of all these teams and where they sit with the points. London are sitting here at 4-1. Boston Breach 2-3. They've been battling. London has been good. And then the middle here is just a pack. A pack of grinders. You know what I mean? It's just absolutely nutty. So... you get back there, you look at the schedule when we break down this matchup between the Royal Ravens and Breach. This is what I got to walk you guys through. You have to see, have these teams played before? What were the results? And where has everybody come since then? The Boston Breach have yet to meet the Royal Ravens. The Royal Ravens have been good, man. Like, they have been pretty dominant in the matches that they've played. They took down a good Seattle team. They lost to LAG. They beat Minnesota. And then they beat Optic early on in Florida. I think in this situation, Boston may have had the tougher schedule. They have the opportunity to take down the Royal Ravens. And I think they get it done. Man, I might even go back and switch up a little bit here. Like, what are LAG gonna do? Who is this team? Who are the Gorillas? Do I have to blow up this entire bracket? This is where stuff, you get in your head a little bit when you're making these predictions and you think, could this happen here? Could this happen there? Like, this is a toss-up, and this could change a lot when it comes to our elimination rounds. Do I think the Gorillas beat the Royal Ravens here in winner's round? Oh, no. Oh, no, not again. Oh, no, we got to hit it with the refresh here. Okay, we got to run through it real quick. I accidentally swiped back and we lost everything. Okay, so we know we had FaZe there. I think we had both these 3 maps to 1. I think we had... yeah, this one I think is the one we can switch here. I think LAG can beat London. Then I think that Toronto win that. Breach, put it on the Mutineers. Seattle are going to absolutely fry Paris Legion. And then from that point on, I think that Boston Breach take down the Seattle Surge. I think the Rocker can beat the Royal Ravens. I think Ultra beat the Subliners. Then Ultra beat the Rocker. And then Breach get there. Okay, so we're back up to the winner's bracket. I said it's going to be a hard-fought battle. FaZe beat Optic 3-2. Right here, Gorillas Thieves. You got to take Thieves all day. Come down to the elimination. It's Gorilla versus the Breach. This one could be tight here. I think I like Boston. Optic versus Toronto. Okay, so now we're back. Now we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the situation we need to be. So LA Thieves, they beat the Gorillas 3 maps to 1. Elimination round here. This is the decider. And then it comes LAG versus the Boston Breach. That's just going to be such a tight matchup. Like, everybody has been battling. Everybody has been tight-knit. Like, they're both 2 and 3. They both have situations where they could improve. I think that one can almost come down to experience here. It might be the Gorillas. It might just be LAG to take down the Boston Breach and end their run. I think when you look at that team, it has to be. It has to be a seam. It has to be slasher and gunless. LAG get it done. They take down the Boston Breach, and then we get the rematch. We're back on track, ladies and gentlemen. After all the controversy, after the F8 stabilizer, there's going to be blood to be had. Bodies will be shot. You can guarantee it. I think Optic are still the better team. I think that Optic are going to be on a hot streak. They're going to take down the Toronto Ultra 3-1 and find themselves in the elimination semifinals. At that certain point in time, I think Optic have bad blood. They want to find themselves in the finals. They beat LAG 3-1. Then we go to the winners final. It's going to be a hard-fought battle between FaZe and Thieves, but FaZe get it done. They're the best team in the game right now. They continue to excel. They continue to be great, and I think that they beat LA Thieves to send them to the elimination finals. Then you have a battle of juggernauts, the storylines that we go over time and time again. Nade Shot and Hex. Scump, Nade Shot, all these guys. I think that LA Thieves, I think they're just better. I just love that roster. I've said it time and time again. I think Envoy pops up against his old squad. That's the big storyline there. Everyone, they had to separate, they had to disperse like that, but Envoy, in the back of his mind, he wants to do it to his boys, and I think he will. Octane's going to show up, he's going to clutch up Kenny, always handles the pressure well, and Draza performs in the spotlight. I think it goes the distance, 3-2, Thieves over Optic, best of 9, FaZe get it done, 5-3. That's it. That's the end of it, ladies and gentlemen. Atlanta FaZe continue to be the best team in the game, and they win the Stage 1 Major on LAN yet again. This is good for the esport of Call of Duty, though, to have the best of the best and the biggest fan bases in the finals. You have Thieves, Optic, and FaZe. Like, those are the biggest fan bases, all fighting on Saturday and Sunday. Those are my predictions. I just think that Atlanta FaZe are too good, man. Crowder's too good of a coach, and they're just too good of an organization. Send me pictures at ZHack16 on Twitter of your pick'em bracket. Let me see it. I want to know what you guys put together. I want to know what you have. I know we're all so excited for the Stage 1 Major, and we got to end the podcast in the way that only the best do it, and only the way that we know how to do it, on the rotation with ZHack, and I'm going to kick it over to Scumpy. Who's the best in the game, baby? It's a guy who has been frying, just like Scump was with that MSMC back in the Black Ops days. Who is it? Who do you guys think it is? Take a second to think. Take a second to ponder, okay? Yeah, you've had enough time. Who's the best in the game right now? It's the guy who has been at the top of the game for a long time now, and he plays for the best team in the game. It's MC. It's Celium. He is the best in the game. A 1.29 overall KD sitting atop the best of the best. He is number 1 in the Call of Duty League. He has been the best selection for fantasy on breakingpoint.gg. He does everything. His shot is straight. He runs some crazy routes. He will gun you. He will teabag you. He will shoot your body with the utmost respect. But Celium is the best in the game. The kid has a 1.13 in hardpoint, a 2.68 in search and destroy, with a 7.7% first blood ratio. And you look at control, he hoists a 1.32. All of those stat lines are the best in the Call of Duty League. Celium has been frying. The kid's been on a different level. And all you can do is salute the performance and understand that he is the greatest right now. And he is the reason that the Atlanta FaZe are going to win the Stage 1 Major on LAN. Celium is the best in the game. Good luck stopping him. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to episode number 32 of The Rotation with Z-Hack as we head into the Stage 1 Major. It's been a blast. Make sure you share the podcast. Always, it's going to be on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitter at ZHack16. I will link it there. Give it to friends, families, fellow gamers. Link it in the Discord. And as always, I appreciate you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's have a great time watching the Stage 1 Major. Have fun, everybody, and be safe who goes to the Stage 1 Major. And I love you all. And as always, I will see you next time. Peace.